Hello everyone, Douglas Waltz, Old Man Comic Book Reviews, coming at you with a giant stack of them. Look at that. Alright, we're just going to dive right in. Nothing in particular, no particular order, so we'll start with issue 8 of John Constantine's Hellblazer Dead in America. They recently fixed the road outside. We used to not get a lot of trucks through. Now that's not a thing anymore. We get trucks all the time again. We're near a quarry. So that'll do it. So, Simon Spurrier is our writer. Alessandro Etherpen is our artist. And John has gone to hell to save Swamp Thing. Etrigan's in it. I love Etrigan. I hate the way they draw Etrigan in this. This is not my favorite. I don't think there's actually ever a really big picture of him to kind of give you the idea. I was impressed that they made a rhyming demon out of him. He's not wearing any clothes, which is really kind of odd for Etrigan. So it's still pretty good. They try to make him look a little more like Etrigan on the cover, but that's a lie. It's not happening in the book at all. So, yep, another of John's master plan. He's promised himself to hell again. So, we'll see how that goes for him. Alright, number 56 of The Amazing Spider-Man, also known as The Legacy of 950 issues. That means they just count every issue of Spider-Man that's ever been made. So, let's take a look here. Zeb Wells is our writer. John Romita Jr. is our penciler. Scott Hanna is our inker. And it's like the aftermath of the entire gang war thing has finally come to a head. It's interesting that Tombstone goes after Parker because he can't get his hands on Spider-Man. That's kind of weird. White Rabbit's in it. We always love seeing White Rabbit in it. But yeah, he had to fight Tombstone without without anybody's help until She-Hulk and Luke Cage show up to take him out. And then he has time to change into Spider-Man real quick. And but then Tombstone's daughter comes to put the lid on him. He's going. Tombstone's going to jail. There's also an interesting side story with I don't know, just supervillains and stuff like that. That's just kind of, you know, an off story, and then another off story. So I'm not really sure what's going on with all of this. My favorite part was a one-page by Lee Gatlin, Spider-Man with Kraven, and they're playing Where's Waldo together. I don't really think this is a good idea. So see how these are all the covers of every issue of Spider-Man. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and a half of these postage size things. They use 10 pages for that. Other than that, they're wrapping things up for this. After that, I won't be buying Spider-Man. I've read ahead and checked about what it's going to be like, and it sounds dumb, so I'm not getting that. Valentine's Bluff Massacre. I still have not recovered from them using a washing machine instead of a dryer. Our writers are S.A. Czech and James Kokorik. Artist is Andrea Arcari, I think that might be it. So they're still filming the Valentine's Bluff Massacre. We all know it's Valentine's Day. My Bloody Valentine. That's exactly what it is. The art is good, but it doesn't feel... It feels way too superhero-y about a horror comic. It's very, very superhero-y. But I think we only get one more issue. I thought it say to be concluded. Let me check for you. Oh, it doesn't say at all. I must have imagined that. So it's still what it is, you know. So here we go. Power Girl number 12. We got into a dozen of these. There's a very nice cover. Power Girl's looking great. Not really sure about the Valhalla thing because we did that enough in Wonder Woman. Writer Leah Williams, artist Travis Moore. And Ratatosk shows up and really likes Power Girl's hair. So this is the Valhalla. They go on a date to Valhalla, her and her new beau, and it's every day you fight and you die and then you celebrate and then everybody starts over again. So it's kind of nice to see her just having a date night out, but it's Asgard, so date night's going to be weird. I didn't like their Hugin and Moonin rendition. They look like they're just made out of words, which I don't know. So, but it's Power Girl, and we're pretty happy about that. The artwork is okay. It's better than some. Not my favorite. Better than some. Sonic the Hedgehog number 72. People always like, they're still making that comic book? Archie Comics did it for 350 issues or something. I forgot to turn off the air conditioner. My apologies for the blast of cold air. I turned it down because it's supposed to be pretty chilly here today. Our story is Evan Stanley, pencils are Aaron Hammerstrom, inks are Matt Froze, and when last we left, Clutch the Possum was trying to find out who the mystery surfer guy is. We all know it's Sonic, just because he doesn't know. Whatever. So, yeah, we've been doing the race thing for a little while. Sonic is making some friends and hanging out. Yeah. Then we have Belle hanging out with Amy Rose and Tails. And it's just another one of those. Rough and Tumble show up again. And so they're getting ready to take out the Phantom, Sonic, once and for all. Yeah, right, whatever. And it's always a good time. Sonic the Hedgehog is always a good time. Even those million issues of the Metal Virus that I complained about back in the day. Apparently we bought this. I did not read it. It is Sesame Street, Grover Lends a Hand. Written by Joey Esposito, illustrated by Austin Bachel. I will say that Grover is in one of my all-time favorite books, The Monster at the End of this book. People always go, oh, you mean one of your favorite children's books? No. One of my all-time favorite books ever, The Monster at the End of this book. When I read it to children and grandchildren, I try to do Grover's voice. That'll tear you up after a while. Whoever does that, hats off. Alright, new Moon Knight comic book, because you can never have too many Moon Knight comic books. This is number 1. It is called Phases of the Moon Knight. Get it? Get it? That's funny, right? Where we get 2 stories. The Once and Future Knight, Erica Schultz is our writer, Manuel Garcia is our penciler, Sean Parsons is our inker, then Crusader is Benjamin Percy is our writer, and Rod Reyes is our artist for that one. So, the first story is just kind of what it is. It's Moon Knight taking care of business, and he's fighting, I thought Waxman got taken care of, so this has got to be a flashback. But then he's got to fight Digger and Tatterdemalion, members of the Night Shift by the Shroud. Artwork is Fabu. I haven't seen some of these Night Shift guys in a while. Kind of fun to see them trying to fight Moon Knight and, you know, failing miserably. That's kind of nice. And then the Crusader one is the year 1200 AD in England, and we have a Crusader who is approached by Khonshu to become a Moon Knight. Rod Reyes' artwork is always gorgeous to look at, and this is a really good story. You'll have to pick this up. It's only issue 1, so, and I don't know if it's going to be a mini series or not. I assume this is a mini series. So 4 or 5 issues. Depends on how Marvel wants to work it. Captain America number 12. So we're a year into the Captain America book that I'm enjoying. Writer J. Michael Straczynski, artist Jesus Saez. And I've been calling this Vertigo Captain America, which it is. The artwork is gorgeous. Jesus does a good job. It's reminiscent of Richard Corbin. And Death has shown up. In the DC universe, Death is a pretty goth girl. In the Marvel universe, apparently it's just some guy who's kind of a douchebag. So, I mean, they make him out to be, yeah, douchebag. So, and to make things more complicated, he is giving his power of death to others and telling them to go take care of business. So he's making like his own little death people. I don't know. It's still one of the better Captain America books out there. It's decided to be different, which is always a good time. If you can bring different to Captain America, that's a good time. Here we are, my new favorite X-Men book, X-Men number 3. There's Scott having, looks like dessert, I guess. Let's see. Writers Jed MacKay, pencilers Ryan Stegman, inkers are J.P. Meyer and Livesay. So they're just dealing with what happened after Krakoa. Apparently something happened there. I didn't bother reading that because there was no New Mutant book at the time and I didn't care. So Cyclops is just going into town, meeting up with Agent Lundqvist. And Agent Lundqvist thinks that he's got something he can hold over Scott. We come to find out that's not true. I do get to know about Tempest, finally. Her, Temper. That's right, Temper. And apparently she gets stronger the more attacks that come at her, which is kind of neat. So Scott apparently sued the United States government for murdering his wife. They sewed his eyes shut. He was on torture. He got tortured. They were going to do a show trial and execution, and he decides to order a BLT because the cooks back at the base are vegetarians. So, yeah. It's a good book. I love getting magic. I didn't think I was going to like Juggernaut in the team, but he's doing pretty good. They're trying to try some government nonsense, trying to take out the X-Men, which is not going to work for them. And yeah, so it's nice to know how Temper works. She's got a really cool costume. Here we go. There's Temper. And yeah, she can do all sorts of good stuff. And something's wrong with Scott. So I'm hoping he doesn't turn into a bad guy again. Please don't make Scott Summers a bad guy. I always thought that was awful. Cyclops was my favorite of all of them. Let's see. I think I've got one more left because those are issues of Cult of the Lamb for my children and grandchildren. Here we go. Number 1, I Lie Popeye. I don't remember if you remember Free Comic Book Day, but I was ecstatic about this Popeye comic book. I mean, very much so. Story and art are Marcus Williams. So he's doing the whole bit all himself. And there's like 6 different covers. Looks like I just got the basic cover, but honestly, it's a pretty good cover. I'll take it. They put it like it's on the side of a can of spinach. So that was cute because the ingredients are cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. I laughed a lot at that. a lot of the book, half of the book, is the comic from Free Comic Book Day. And I'm like, all right. Because, just because I read the comic book on Free Comic Book Day doesn't mean everybody read the comic on Free Comic Book Day. So if you remember, it ended with this. This right there, yes. And then we get the big fight, and I was so happy to see the Sea Hag. I don't like her, the way she looks. Sea Hag had a different kind of nose. Fights are drawn very, very well because it's Popeye. He can take it. Jeep shows up. I was so happy to see Jeep. Like I said, it's Popeye, but the fighting has this Dragon Ball style to it, which just makes it awesome. And apparently, there's some bad guy behind the scenes, trying to do the thing with getting to Popeye, and Sea Hag worked for him. So, great book. I hope they keep it going for a while. I would definitely read all of these. So, I lie Popeye. Like the eye, not I, but your eye. So, let's do our count. Let's not count things we're not reading. I'm counting Popeye as a superhero. Like it or don't, I don't care. Let's see. I didn't really read the Sesame Street. I didn't read that. Uh-oh. John Constantine's certainly not a superhero. So for non-superhero, I have 3. And for superhero, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6. So, superheroes won this week. I did want to show you a thing that my wife was very excited to get. And that is a manga film comic of My Neighbor Totoro. This just came out. It's very nice. It's frames of the movie. It's not really a manga. It's printed and reads like a manga, but it's not. So, but it's still, and this is a hardcover book. And if you were a Fanfare person, you would have gotten 20% off a $30 hardcover book, which would be math. $6 off of 30. So you're looking at what, $24? So yes, that's why I go to Fanfare for all of my comic book needs, because I give them $5 a week. Nope, I give them $5 a year. There we go. That's better. And you get 20% off all new books, whether it's just a comic floppy or that new big giant thing of ROM Space Knight that's normally $125. $25 off, right there. So here comes the air conditioner again. I apologize again, which I don't understand. I have it set for 70, and there's no way that it's more than 70 degrees in this house right now, because the outside's 62, so the inside's got to be. We don't have the heat on, so I don't know. So there's your stack. I always tell you every episode to go read some comic books. Go to the library. Go to your local comic book store if you have one. Check in the 50-cent bin, if they've got a quarter bin or a $1 bin. Test out the waters, because comic books are pricey nowadays. They're either $3.99 or $4.99. I wish the independents weren't adopting the model of the $4.99. I realize that the bigger comic book companies can eat it and take the hit and do $3.99 for their books, even though sometimes they charge $4.99. I didn't even check to see what they charged me for my Spider-Man. $7.99 for a double size comic book. Marvel's actually adopting the $4.99, but at the same time, when they're doing it, they've given us a bigger page count. So that's kind of nice. If you're going to charge us more, give us more. Makes more sense. tells a better story sometimes. So yes, go read a comic book. Any of those places, online, on your phone, everywhere. There's comic books everywhere, and you saw that they're not all. I mean, even the ones I didn't read. There's a Neil Gaiman book in here. There's a Sesame Street, Cult of the Lamb, Valentine's Massacre, Sonic the Hedgehog. None of those are superheroes in spandex. Well, John Constantine especially, he just wears a nasty old trench coat. So he's got that going for him. So let me flip these, because here's a trick you can learn for comic books. If you take half your stack and flip them, they stay. Yes. So I'll see you next time with a lot less comic books. I do believe this week's is like six or seven. Next week I look ahead at this comic book site, and that's like 5. So we're having a nice slow. It helps that Marvel's canceling so many of the books that I buy. So until next time, go read a comic book.